going. I want to play the mono-white Anticausal Vestige deck. So this build is also playing Starfield Shepherd for the first time. First time playing Anticausal Vestige. I really wanted to play a high-ish quality of good stuff to put into play, like Solitude, Starfield Shepherd, Ocelot Pride, Guide Pride, or Phelia, Guide Pride. I'm a little bit unsure if I want to still be in on the Urza Saga plan. This one is kind of an updated mana base from the Caretaker's Talent build. It's nice that like the Urza Saga gives you some game 1 interaction against like Goryo's and Living End and like Neoform, so you're not super duper dead to the combo decks, and then you get to side into the hate against them post board. And then also, of course, the Urza Saga Ocelot Pride interaction is pretty interesting and something I want to explore some more. Yeah, casuals beware. Boring hand, let's keep. K-Command's going to be online now. K-Command Ocelot Pride has also been kind of interesting. I was trying to figure out if there was a way we could leverage that a little bit more for some inevitability. I didn't end up feeling like there was like a banger top end. Alright, so they surveil a Ragavan into the graveyard, and then they pass. So if my opponent has one removal spell, they don't stop me from jumping this Guide of Souls. I think we just do play both here. That's annoying. How does warp work? If you cast something for the warp, and does Doorkeeper scam warp? I was surprised when trying out Halia. Yeah, I had it, and I ended up like what would you cut for it? I did want to try it out here. No, they're not. No, you're not main deck. You're a Wrath the Sky's Ragavan deck. How do you play around Wrath the Sky's Ragavan? Sorry about this matchup, sad face, our opponent says. That's funny. How do I run into Doorkeeper throw Wrath the Skies immediately? This is a little bullshit. Okay, so I guess I can go... I could maybe flicker the Flage, which kills my Phelia, and then exile this. Sorry about the matchup. Could hardcast Starfield Shepherd. Could Starfield Shepherd Ephemerate. I'm not really doing a lot with that, though. I think I'm down to just pass. Play a little slower here. I tried Halia over All-Fates Stalker and a couple copies over Starfield Shepherd. I think that could be fine to do a split. At the very least, it's like, if you're doing that... If that's your plan, it's not really like we're still testing out all new cards in all those slots, so I agree it could be good to play all of them, but it's not gonna be all that different. Sorry about the matchup. This is our first match with the deck. So probably hardcast Solitude this turn. Why no construct? There's a Dress Down in play. We're playing a lot of pain lands so we can splash K command. They're dual lands. 2 for 1 achieved. I don't think I want to go for the Ephemerate. I think I just want to take this slower with all their interaction. They have 5 cards in their hand, or 5 spells in their hand, rather. No discharge, though. There is a good chance they have another Wrath Disguise, so I don't know if we want to go super duper N. The thing is, they probably just don't have a discharge because they didn't cast one last turn. If they do, we have another Ephemerate. So they're going to scam something here. If it's a Null Drifter, Null Drifter is a little annoying because I can't quite K-command it. Although I could maybe K-command it if I go big K-command, scry draw, copy the spawn tokens, and then draw another K-command. Just Flage is fine. Consign the Dress Down trigger. This triggers every single turn, though, right? So our Ephemerate Rebound doesn't work, which is basically what they're consigning, I guess. This is not the cake command. I think they mean case command. Which will, they may be a little annoyed to see the fourth K command if they think that's the fourth one already. They're not wrong about sorry about this matchup. Main deck Wrath, Dress Down, Consign is all nuts against me. But we're winning anyways. You can consign the Exile trigger on Riddler to scam it. You can, yeah. It's not as effective as like flickering it because you're missing out on the extra card. We do know Riddler's good. We're just kind of trying out this mono white build that's playing Anticausal Vestige. Okay, so now Future Wrath Disguise isn't doing a lot, which is really good. Yeah, I think I just keep playing this a little slower. I guess I could have gone for lethal. I have 2 prides and 1 guide left, so I'll just get the second guide. So they do have Wrath in their static. I guess they just sacked the Static Prison. Okay. So they do have the other Wrath. Looks like. Yeah, mono white card advantage, Sacks the Flooded Strand. Looking for a useless Flage. Maybe they have a card draw spell. I mean, how many Wraths can they possibly be playing in their Doorkeeper Thrill Ragavan deck? 4, I guess, is the most you could play. All right. So yeah, they could have drawn Wrath still off the Null Drifter and then had a Null Drifter on an empty board. That would have been pretty good. We do win game 1. Despite all of the blowouts. So there's that. How do you sideboard against a deck like this? Probably second Relic over the first Vexing Bauble. Nothing else seems good. Let's run it back. Is Nutez getting colored artifacts like Portable Home and Explored? I guess not. Is there anything else that works that you think is interesting with? Let's keep this. Yeah, I mean, I think Aven Mindcensor is the best anti-Titan sideboard card you can play in the stack. If there's a better one, let me know. Okay, we're going to try to set up for Phelia into anti-casual. Do you like Mindcensor in the play? No, it's just an anti-Titan sideboard card. Or like maybe... Oh, we could have hardcast this turn 3. Maybe like there's like a different angle of attack on that card. But that's not really how I'm thinking about it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be, I think, totally fine if my opponent just kills the Phelia. Maybe if they counter the Vestige, I'll be a little less happy, I guess. Maybe I should go for Starfield Shepherd this turn and to hardcast this deck. Okay, well, I drew the Ephemerate. Yeah, you know what? I think it's still Starfield Shepherd, because this way I can go hard cast the Vestige plus Ephemerate next turn. Dress down. So does this get exiled? Still gets exiled. Okay, so dress down, very good against warp creatures. Untap Steam Vents, passes the turn. So I guess if they have dress down, then we get to keep our Vestige in play, which is good. They might have a consign. Yeah, I know it's causal, not casual. We're making a silly joke. So going to combat. Dress down again. They're going to consign the return trigger. Well, consigning the return trigger isn't any different from countering the thing, so let's not play around that. They consign this? That was the worst choice. What are we playing into? Phelia Blinking Warp Creatures does not stop the exile. It does. They had a dress down in play, so we didn't get to do that. Okay, this is a Leaves Field ability. I think I'm ephemerating this. Might be bad. I guess could have played around the dress down. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack them for 9. And I don't think I need any of this. I guess another white source is correct, actually. So I think I put a third lethal creature in play here. Although if they have one removal spell, if they have one removal spell, we're still not presenting lethal. All right. That was weird. I think I lead on the Eldrazi Temple. Kind of like makes them think less about Phelia, I would think. Is this Eldrazi card good? It's everywhere. Anticausal Vestige. I haven't seen it anywhere in Modern. It's our first time playing it. We're 1-0 with it. You know Vestige has a clause with number of lands you control? Yeah, I read the card. Oh, they're Neoform and I just go turn 1 Vexing Bauble? Let's go. Justice. Although they might just besage you me. See, that's understand decks. Yeah, we're all Modern over here, so interesting feedback, but I don't know what's going on over in Standard land. I like the design of Phelia. Yeah, Phelia is one of the MH2 cards that's like really, or MH3 cards that's really powerful, but you can be really good against. If you want to be just like very fragile to removal, easy to play around. Definitely has gotten a lot better with warp and impending as mechanics. They did not mean to put this in play. That was a misclick, I think. I think they meant to put this into their hand. And they put it into play instead and they concede. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, Aven Mindcensor also good in this matchup. We have the main deck, Vexing Bauble. They're on like 2 basics usually, right? Deafening Silence is good against Pact. Orim's Chant is good against their deck too. Let's got the Relic. Let's got the Shadowspear. Does seem like Vestige sucks against them. I guess I just don't play these. The Phelias are not super good, although they're better with the Phantoms if I can get the Phantoms in. Maybe I'm gonna play Phantoms over K commands. K command also pretty bad against them. Alright, so Deafening Silence plus Solitude definitely does beat some of their draws. So I think we're supposed to lead on it also, since their deck is so dang fast. But if they are on a packed draw, this is good. Yeah, I know it's weird to side out K command, but it is really bad against Neoform. It's just doesn't do anything. They Pact of Negation, Deafening Silence. Yeah, we're going to challenge tomorrow. Probably playing Quantum Riddler. They graveyard another Pact of Negation. And they're going to consign this, probably. They have consign. Of course they have consign, but just still an interesting line. I don't think I Solitude in response because they're -2 Pact of Negations already. No, I want to Solitude end of turn or Solitude Ephemerate if they have Analysaurus Riders or Hooting Mandrills. If I do an end of turn, they have to like go to discard 2. And I'm just not playing around another Pact because they've already used 2, so it's kind of a weird spot. Although they're just going to be able to Neoform again next turn, so there's that. Yeah, if I can get, you know, maybe even 2 more Riders, that could be good. Alright, Evoke a Solitude. Gonna target the Gristlebrand first, of course. If they do have like a consign for this, we can Ephemerate still. So they got 10 cards in their hand. They're going to discard 3 of them. They're going to have 16 life. They only have 2 Riders left in the deck, which is interesting. Almost interesting. HTO with the 15 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hot to go. Thank you so much. If they get Urini, is game over? Yeah. 2. No Neoform, huh? So if I draw another creature, I can jump the Phelia, which would be a really, really big deal. Oh, that is even better. Because this lets me exile both Hooting Mandrills. Maybe they have something, but we'll see. Have a consign for the ETB, and then they could replicate and stop the Guide of Souls trigger too. Okay, Guide's trigger resolved. Okay, so they messed up there, so now I get to jump the Phelia. I would be really surprised if they already had Eldritch Evolution in their hand last turn, since they just cast the Mandrills. It's possible. I've explored Neoform with Warp Mechanics. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on that in Birthing Ritual. I think the best way is to just we're talking about this morning, but just like Riddler into more Riddlers and Solitudes, because I don't think there's like good 6-drops really. There's good 7s. Someone said the best option is Trumpeting Carnosaur, which isn't very good, but I think it might be the best. And sometimes the best isn't very good, you know what I mean? Might as well target this. Do you still prefer Neoform Counterspell over Zindigo's version? I think no, I don't. Alright, your turn. You're dead next turn. You got no board. 5 cards in hand. Alright, 2-0 Neoform with mono white. I'm trying to keep my mind as open as possible with this set. I guess we keep this on the blind into play. We played one weapons manufacturing Rakdos, Viper, Ravager, Pinnacle Emissary build. It was okay. We only cast it one time. Zima with the 17 months, I think we'll come back. I do want to play more with it. Primeval Time best 6 in the format. Well, the thing is, how are we building a Birthing Ritual deck with Primeval Titan, where Primeval Titan is good when you redraw it, and we also like have land payoffs? It seems very difficult to do. It might be possible. Yeah, the fact that Carnosaur is you can at least get it out of your hand is, I agree, the reason why it's the best option. So I guess we're going to try to Ephemerate that next turn. Do we need to get a 6? Can we just grab a good 3 or 4? Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like you Birthing Ritual instead into another Quantum Riddler, a Solitude, or like a Nissa or something like that. I agree. I agree. Like not playing 6s seems like the better way to build the deck. So we can pay 1. Maybe I should just make a Saga token though. We also get Stern Scolding, which they seem to be in love with. And then I can get Vexing Bauble off the Saga, which could, I guess it stops the Ephemerate rebound, which is kind of stinky if I don't sack it, but it does stop them from like shoaling me, Force of Negationing with a pitch cast. Scolding hits nothing, it's my Shepherd. Yeah, I think I'm just playing around their obvious counter magic. So if they don't counter this, they're dead. And next turn if they play Belcher. They might have like Sync. Sync would be bad. What's been the most exciting card so far? I've been the most excited by Quantum Riddler and Pinnacle Emissary. We're just now playing a lot of these cards for the first time. There's so much to get to with this set. It's really overwhelming. They might just Whir. That's true. Yeah, Whir plus Belcher plus Untap Land gets there. They do have the Sync. Okay. Okay, they're training their Thunder. Yeah, Consult was good too. They got the Waterlogged Teachings, which they play tapped. Do they have the Scolding? They don't. Awesome. So this, I mean, they also can't counter this Ephemerate because of the Vexing Bauble, so we don't need to be too worried about that either. What is this deck? How can I answer this question for you? What are you asking? They have a Snare. Snare seems likely, I agree. So we can't jump, so I think we just attack with the construct first. It's going to get chumped. And I think we may be a little short of lethal next turn. Maybe play Guide before Ephemerate was good there. Not possible if I want to Ephemerate the Shepherd. Oh, wait, sorry. You're right. I was thinking Evoke for some reason. I don't think it'll end up mattering a lot, but you're right. Yeah, so first, I keep thinking that this is like Evoke. You have to do it immediately. You don't. So they took the hit. That's pretty interesting. I think that might end up being a big deal for me. It's interesting how they're pausing on literally every card here. Okay, they Flare of Denial. Think long, think wrong. Think long, think wrong. So we might lose like Whir Tamashi because we don't have the Relic mana up, and we can't Solitude because of the Vexing Bauble, but don't really lose to anything else. Yeah, good read. Sometimes chat knows how my brain is working better than I do. Yeah, 4 White Orchid Phantoms in the sideboard, which is usually pretty fun. Nice. Yeah, we haven't tutored a land with the Shepherd yet. Try to remember we could do that. So we're going to bring in the Phantoms, the Conquerors, the Pithing Needle, the Orim's Chants. Deafening Silence. I don't know if I want Deafening Silence. Especially in this matchup. I think it stops them from like multi-lotusing. It stops them from going Lotus Belcher on turn 4. I could maybe want second Relic also. Okay, I do think again we want these with no casuals here. Friendly match. Why the Palins being mono white? So you can cast K Command. They're like dual lands that fix for K Command. I think you trim 1 Solitude, 1 Ephemerate, 2 Shepherd maybe. I think I do like the K Commands. They're good against Tamashi. They're kind of good in these games. Can be slower. We do have a Needle, but we only have a 1-lander. I think up the mulligan. The black 2-drop creature with sack surveyability on my radar. Not really. I don't think that card's very good. I don't think it's very bad either, but I'm not. It's not something I care a lot about, I guess. I guess I have the Needle, but I also have Pride. So it's like I need double white for Phantom. I think more than I need double colors for Temple with this hand. And we have Urza Saga plus Ocelot Pride, which can be surprisingly like just a ton of pressure out of nowhere. Is the Desert Land not better than Painlands? We also have 4 of those in the deck. You can only play 4 of them. It's not like 4 Temples and 4 Shefet Dunes gives you a complete mana base, right? I do think it might be a little greedy to play the Pride first instead of the Needle. I might be able to set up for a spot where I like Saga for Vexing Bauble, and then I can like resolve the Needle comfortably. If they have Thundertrap Trainer, this is all pretty bad. Yeah. Coming back to Modern, unlike the unplayable Null Drifter, Riddler doesn't even have Annihilator, nor always draws 2. Is it mostly better because the Evoke cast card is lower? I guess I'm confused exactly what you're asking. Like, just you want me to compare Anticausal Vestige, which is the for sure name of the card. You want me to compare Vestige to Null Drifter? I think this is a good turn to try to resolve this. Also, if they had Flare, then we get to get in with the Pride. So Vestige, like the big thing is it puts a spell into play, right? Just like it gives you a big mana advantage too. It's also not a blue card, so it allows you to build like these mono. I think it's good in the monocolor K command lists, like mono white, mono black. More so mono white because of the flicker. But yeah, the mana that you can cheat on mana. The body's also bigger. A lot to like. They're asking about Quantum Riddler versus Null Drifter. Oh, yeah, no, it's 1 less mana to cheat, and it's a 4/6 flyer. I said this in my my YouTube video, and then I knew that people would just kind of think that the 4/6 flying stats on Quantum Riddler don't matter. I knew that players would think that like stats on creatures in Modern doesn't matter. 4/6 flyer is a stat line Modern is really weak to. Modern is not a format that's equipped to handle a 4/6 flyer. Right, we might get Tamashid out of the game. Anything to the landfall insect or just too cute? There's a landfall Kavu. Which one is the landfall insect? Null Drifter's 4/4 flyer too. Yeah, it's true. 4/6 flyer is a lot better than 4/4 flyer, but it's also like Riddler is like just it's castable for 2 mana early. You do draw that second card off of it more often than you think you would. It's scammable with Ephemerate, which Null Drifter isn't. Mole Drifter is. So they do have the Tamashii. Probably dead. They have to go to game 3. Oh, the Crucible bug. Yeah, that card could be good. It's on my to-do list to play a Ghost Quarter deck with that. Not super high on my to-do list, I guess. Still on there. Yeah, they work with different cards for sure. So they should have enough mana to sink the Needle and cast Belcher and activate it. Are the sagas just for hate pieces and constructs? Yeah, you also have Ocelot Pride plus constructs, which can be pretty interesting. Want to see the dry deck? We played it yesterday. I think we went 3-0 into 3-2. We have 9 mana. And at least see how they sideboarded. They might have boarded in basic, by the way. I have Phantoms. Not that they necessarily know that. Looks like we are dead. They did not board in the basic, which is good to know for us. Imagine they just have the basic next game. Could theoretically be in their hand, I guess. Alright, nothing too weird. Let's go to game 3. I want some White Orchid Phantoms. A little bit of lag here. Mindcensor for War isn't fast enough. What would you cut? I feel like it's kind of narrow. We already have... so Clarion Conqueror turns off the Lotuses. Maybe that's not enough. I don't know. It feels kind of narrow to me. But if you feel like it would be better than a specific card, let me know. Like we have a Vexing Bauble to stop Suspend Lotus, but it's not what we're talking about, I guess. I think I have too many colorless lands to keep that one. Yeah, Mindcensor's my anti-Titan card. I don't think there's a better card you could play. I guess I keep the second planes for Phantom. You would have kept the 6. Well, we'll never know if we got there, I guess. This has been 2 Lotus Blooms, so hopefully my Saga can get the Vexing Bauble down in time. Right, I do have, like I said, this goes to 2, this goes to 2, this goes to 1. Yeah, then the Bauble should come down in time. They could have sync up, potentially. Kind of the worst thing that could happen maybe would be us drawing the Bauble. Right, let's just hold up our mana here. I might be able to K-command X = 1, make a construct, cast the Pride, and have Kitty's Blessing. I don't think I'm going to have enough permanence almost ever, though. Maybe if I draw K-command and cast the second one also. I probably don't need to prioritize it super hard either. They did reveal Jawari Disruption. So if they pass with Disruption up... Do I trade K-command for it? I think I'd probably just make a construct. Although I might just have the K-command stranded in my hand for the rest of the game if I do that. They play Seagate Reborn, untapped. Yeah, I think I'm going to cast the K command so we can, like... It's okay if they Jirari Disruption this because it taps them out of hard casting something else that they're trying to leave up. Right, that's what we were kind of hoping would happen. Yeah, I think I got a K command again. Well, hard to say no to that one. There's like a solid chance that my opponent will go like upkeep, sink my Vexing Bauble, and then play 2 Lotus Blooms, and then not have an untapped land to go kill me with the Belcher, and then maybe the Clarion Conqueror stabilizes me. They do so. Unfortunately, they have the sink. Why don't we Needle Belcher? They have 2 Lotus Blooms on suspend. That line is also weak to sink, but. You have to stop. You have to counter these, I think. You're just too weak to Tamashi. They have 4 cards in their hand, so if they have Belcher, they need an untapped land. They just use 1 with the sink. So land would be great, so I could Vexing Bauble first. I don't draw it, so we just cast the Clarion Conqueror. I think it's almost definitely going to get countered the way they played the untapped mana, although that might have been to hold up Sync instead of a hard counter. They do Flare, unfortunately. We're just dead to Land Belcher. I mean, untapped Land Belcher. We're dead to Sync untapped Land Belcher. As like, I would take the line we took again every single time. I think. Well. Tough mull to 5. Kind of weird to lose game 1 and board in like 9 cards against Belcher and lose both sideboard games. That's modern. Okay, keep it this. I think Belcher's a pretty bad matchup. I don't know. Like, we have a lot of Phantoms. We have a lot of sideboard cards. I think game 1 it's bad and we won. I think sideboard it's favorable. We lost both of those. It just happens sometimes. I think overall probably net negative for us. Tapped Mirror Pool, so we're up against Titan, so those Aven Mindcensors might get to come to work. The Phantoms are solid against them, too. Eldrazi Temple would be sick. So if we play Guide and Pride, it's obviously a little awkward. Yeah, the Pride won't be in play to trigger if I flicker it, so I think it's better to get the cat token. Right, I guess you see if they take a different line than you're expecting, and the Solitude somehow stops it. But I don't think Solitude can really ever do anything here. Yeah, it just can't. Let's just keep it going here. Turn 3, Spelunking Kill. Okay, Mindcensor's in. Phantom's in, Chant's in. I think the Needle's fine. The extra Relic is okay. Played against a lot of linear combo this league. Not exactly what you want to see with these builds. Can keep in the Vexing Bauble. Try this. Is Amulet worse to play against a Dredge? Well, at least you have like really good like 0, 1, and 2 mana sideboard cards you can play against Dredge that totally shut it down. How did they win there? So they tutor up Aftermath Analyst after they bounce a Adarkar Wastes to get Summoner's Pact, and then they They get Aftermath Analyst and they return their Tolaria West to get another Summoner's Pact, and then they loop their deck there. So usually a Spelunking or an Amulet plus 4 lands and Escape Shift is a deterministic win for them. I think we have enough other answers to the loop. I don't think we want it. This hand is really good if we have another white source, but I think we need to mulligan. We have the Mindcensors. Let's keep. See if we get turn 2'd. Okay, not very likely to get turn 2'd. Which is great news. Alright, just puts another forest into play. Isn't Ashok better than Mindcensor since you have access to blue? Brother, we got 4 Adarkar Wastes. What do you mean access to blue? Got 4 Adarkar Wastes. That's not access to blue. That's 4 blue sources. You have to draw 2 of them to cast your Ashiok. Alright, sure glad I'm on the play. You have a single drum. Okay, you're right. Notice how we couldn't cast Ashiok here. Okay, Zakoilos. Okay, let's go. Okay, get 8 more sources. Might actually be okay. I don't know. So they sack 1 land and they get a Castle Garenbrig, and then they play a Vexing Bauble. I might activate Shefet Dunes for the kill next turn. Is the mana base with Vistas enough to splash a second color? No, not usually. A very, very light splash, maybe. I would generally caution against it. They're casted Escape Shift into the Aven Mindcensor. I can't say that's not fun for me. They sack all their lands. They can only get lands from the top 4 cards. They get a single Gardens. Alright. To be a fun Collector's Cage deck. I think I agree with that. Alright. Game 3 on the draw against Titan. Let's go. I'm glad I was on the play, because, you know, on the draw, I was going to die on turn 3. I have Aven Mindcensor again. Let's keep. They're on the mold to 6. They do have Amulet Gardens, which is very scary. Doesn't Deafening Silence make sense? I don't think so. I think it can stop their Aftermath Analysts like loop-de-doops. Maybe it's better than I think. I generally think it's like a little too weak to Besage you on those turns anyways. Like, they can just Escape Shift, pick up Besage you, kill it. Could still die this turn if they go use the green mana Grazer, put like Lotus into play. Well, it seems like I'm going to hold up the Relic tap to not die to the Analyst loop. And this has, again, been a long-standing criticism I've had of Titan, is that the best sideboard cards you can play against it are 3 mana, and if you're really relying on 3 mana sideboard card against them, if you're just on the draw, it's just too slow, you know? There just are not really good 2 mana cards. Like, Damping Sphere just doesn't really do it most of the time. It's so weak to Besage you. It can win on turn 2 also. Wins on turn 3 very consistently. We could try to, like, Relic, look for a Solitude. Force of Vigor helps. Yeah, I mean, like, there are some cards that can help, right? But it's also, like, a Force of Vigor, like, plus 3 mana sideboard card is tough. But all of the really good sideboard cards against them are 3 mana. Yeah, I'm gonna let them sack the Mirror Pool, then I'm gonna go for the Relic, and maybe we'll get lucky and draw Solitude. 4 out of 51 chance. Alright, we're moving on with our day. If I had Solitude, we would have been in good shape. Alright, keeping this. We played Temple turn 1. If we do draw second Temple, we'll probably just like Vestige as a Rampant Growth that draws a card. And then can actually just hard cast it the following turn. Pretty good. Okay, I think usually against the 30-second shower uppers, we'll just keep this up for the mulligan decision at least. I'm gonna wait a turn on the Saga. I might put it into play with the Vestige. Sure. Yeah, I think Emissary is this good. Solitude it. Right, nothing else cast. So if I put in the second Saga, I'm not going to be able to double activate next turn. Good chance I'm just hard casting this next turn also instead of making a Saga token. Yeah, we could put the Phelia into play, and then if we draw an Eldrazi Temple, we can hard cast this. We also get to like maybe flicker the construct, or the token, although then they can make a construct and block. Phelia also maybe can just flicker a construct that they make next turn. Second Saga. Weapon manufacturing, cool. So the board we've got just Clarion Conquerors. Probably need a little bit more. 1 mana Thoughtcast. They play a Shadowspear, make another Munitions. Okay, so we did draw the Eldrazi Temple, so we can play our Vestige. Flicker with Phelia, and then put another Saga into play. It would be nice. I guess we're not that likely to put a 5-drop in play since we don't have 5 lands. Are there any 1 manas? I guess you could get Claws of Gix to start sacking your weapons manufacturing tokens. Maybe that is you also have Zabaz, I guess. There's ways to kill your munition tokens off Saga. Here they grab a Lava Spur Boots. Play another weapon manufacturing, a Mox Opal. I'm scared. So they have 14 damage they can deal here. They're going after my Vestige. A little disappointing. Also, my opponent just knows I have nothing in my hand too. Couldn't they have won if they left the drone untapped? Yeah, I think so. They're hasting here. I think they should still have lethal. So this is, I'm down to 12. Maybe they're a little short. So this is 9, 10, 11. I think I go to 1. Got my Daybreak points. Oh, I miscounted. Yeah, I'm dead. Sorry. Not sure where the... Maybe, I think I probably didn't count a trigger that was already on the stack. So let's bring in the Needle, let's bring in the Clarion Conquerors. These should be pretty good. I think the Phantoms to break up their sagas could be pretty good too. They're also probably playing very few basics. Let's cut the Relic. I want to keep in the Vexing Bauble. Everything else does seem pretty good. I have to make 6 cuts. Could cut the Relic. Why don't we cut the Shepherds? Maybe cut 2 Shepherds. Cut 1 Phelia. I want to keep in the All-Fates Stalker. I cut Pride instead of Relic? Okay. So 3 cuts still. I think I'm maybe down to cut 1 Guide, 1 Pride. Played 3 Phantom. I was counting the boots, yeah. I just counted the power that was visible on the card. Alright, let's keep the 7 on the play. Yeah, I think I just missed a trigger that was already on the stack. Could have been maybe good to leave up Temple to just exile a 0-drop and draw a card. Swinda with the 57, welcome back. Oh, how I missed Nihiri. I am pretty interested in getting a Needle on an Arcbound Ravager down, so let's play the Saga this turn. The Graveyard of Pinnacle Emissary off the Imri. Well, I think I've got to go for the Starfield Shepherd Flicker. This does mean that they're going to get to maybe cast Emissary off the Imri, which is pretty scary. Because I'm not leaving up the K command to exile. Can't you just K command the Emery? It's mana value 3. I have 4 Eldrazi mana. Four cards in hand and a tank. Warp is only from hand. Okay, that's good news. I'm really interested to see, like, does Pithing Needle on Arcbound Ravager like just shut off the weapons manufacturing this game and just make it like a glorified like construct buffer? Although if they just have a Ravager this turn, you know. Okay, it seems like they don't. So let's go. Let's name Arcbound Ravager. I know we could name Urza Saga. Let's name Ravager. So I could just play Guide and Pride this turn, and then I could K command the Saga token and leave the Imri alive. I think that seems fine. Wouldn't Needle play into Haywire Might from their Saga? I guess it would. Did you have like do you have a more full line you felt like was better? I'm not sure what the best line is with that in mind. Okay, they don't try to block, which is interesting. Looks like I'm one short of Kitty's Blessing. I guess they might go for Shadowspear. I super obvious have the K command because I tapped the stupid temple though, so that might have been a big mistake. They get a Vexing Bauble. That might be better for for me than for them. Okay, so the Phelia can deal with this construct. They then crack the Vexing Bauble. I mean, I'm just going to gain so much life. I don't think I care about taking 12. Maybe that's silly. I'm going to gain like 12 life this turn, at least. Probably it was fine to block. Just have a token contest, maybe. Yeah, I should have blocked. Okay. Still in pretty good shape. It might activate Shefet Dunes. Yeah, usually it's the 4th Ocelot Pride that breaks the game. Yeah, Shefet Dunes sack makes each individual token lethal. Okay, now each token is lethal. It says Kappa 1 turn too late. Don't know about that. I think Kappa Kennedy still loses, but we'll let him think it wins. Did weapons manufacturing do anything that game? I think no. I guess it made me Needle Ravager. I don't know. I still have a hard time chewing on the card. Let's go to game 3. I guess I'm going to lead on the drum with this hand. My opponent's thinking about their 7. They're not snapping it off. It's really good for us when you play against the Pinnacle Emissary deck. Is there another good sack? I think Rodmouth Viper is the next best. I think it's even better than the Ravager. You could do some Saga stuff like Claws of Gix and Zabaz. Sorry, I guess I'm not going to Solitude this now. Okay, wow, I would have I was... Good time to be F6. Definitely a Claws of Gix Believer. I do really like that card. Maybe you can also play Hatching Plans with your Claws of Gix. Greater Gargadon? Gargadon's okay. So there's a Ravager and a weapons manufacturing in the yard. I kind of want to be mean and pretend like I have Wrath Disguise. No, it's like click on this, start paying cost, then not. I think that's a little silly. Maybe if this was like a big tournament, I might try that. Just like a bluff, you know. Oh, they milled the basic island. They might not have another basic. I've been just playing one basic in all my affinity lists. I think we keep the Shepherd. When is Mass Effect 5 coming out? Or the new Mass Effect game? I guess I don't know what number they're calling it. When do we get to see Roundmouth Munitions? We've already played it, although we only played 3 matches, and I think we 2-1 went to lunch. It's in the Mox field. We have played it. Alright, your turn. So they do find a second Saga. They're recovering well after getting phantomed. They're going to cast the Pinnacle Emissary. No, this is Kappa Cannoneer, sure. So they got one card left in their hand. Great recovery for them. This isn't going to do a lot for us this turn. But it does let me jump the Ocelot Pride, which is really good. I think I have Kitty's Blessing too. Wow. I think I named Ravager over Urza Saga. So you have lethal in the air, although they do have the drone token, which can block a flyer. So we're taking 6. Out of 21, they got one card in their hand. They cracked the Bauble main phase. If they're doing that, that should mean that they have instant speed interaction in their deck. So I want to make 2 tokens here. Then exile the construct. So I can copy the tokens with the Pride and gain max life so I don't die on the crackback very easily. Okay, they have the Consign. Now they block my Guide of Souls. And they chump, and then they go to 1. I go to 24. I get 2 blockers. It's going to be very close. Maybe not close. Maybe they just Shadowspear me. Don't you have lethal? Just exile the Flame Blocker. I guess that was a lot safer than this. I'm not that into weapon manufacturing time sieve. It's at the very least it could be better than I think. It does seem like that might be. I think it's probably better than I was saying it would be this morning. Okay, I'm at 24. They're at 1. Yeah, you might want to play Halia. There just kind of wasn't room to think test everything. But they got Lava Spur boots? I have 2 chump blockers. How do they get boots here? They don't have Shadowspear? They have Fire Magic? They don't have Fire. They're just dead. Great. I think if they had Shadowspear, I was in a lot of trouble. Now they're dead on board. Alright, so another 3-2. Cracking Dunes with lethal. Yeah, I mean, we definitely played way too hard into the Consign for no reason last turn. Yeah, I even said that they have some instant speed interaction in their deck. So the problem here is